So I am Mother Ehrith, and am a shaman, was a shaman, whatever you want to say, in sort of what you would call ancient times. That's what we were. But we were not nomadic as such because we had maybe what you would call a township, like a village. So we were very stable there. But we were near water. And so there was this nomadic aspect about us because there were times when the men would go hunting for a long period of time and come back with all of their treasures, if you like, from the hunt. And we also traded with other townships, villages, whatever you want to call. So when we did that, we used the boats. We went by the water. Because it was the most convenient, you could imagine carrying all of the skins or what have you to trade and walking. They used to do that, of course, but for us, we found it much easier to be in the boats. The boats that we had, of course, we had to make. And they were what you would probably call now a canoe. And there were different sizes, but generally speaking, there was enough room for one person. And if you had trading items, or two people if you did not have to trade, so you understand what we're saying. And the making of these boats or these canoes, was something for us very significant, symbolic, and spiritual. And in many ways, it was part of initiation into manhood, because you would bring the boat, because it was your transport, but it was your ability to provide for your family in a different way, in a much larger way. So it was part of, your initiation into manhood, that you would build this boat, this canoe. And that building of that canoe would not take 1 week, 2 weeks. It would take a long time, maybe even 1 to 2 years, because it was very specialized. First of all, the wood. It was made, the skeleton was made from wood. But of course, you have to get a very strong wood, but one that is malleable or pliable, as you say. So you have to use wood young. So you would get the wood young. But then, like a human being that is young, they have to be molded, right? To then become the strong, independent person that they can be to go about their life. It's the same with the wood. So in that regard, the wood is like a reflection of the person going through their initiation, right? You cut the wood down young, when they are uninitiated, right? But they are on their journey to be initiated, to become a man, to become this strong, independent person. And then the wood needs to be, you would say, we think, tempered. So it needed to be soaked in water, but that was for the pliability. You needed to have it dried as well and oiled, right? You would use, so that was this, you were putting into the wood life, if you like. So the water, because it was going to go into water, right? So it needs to be connected with that aspect. That water, of course, helps to bend it, to make it shaped. But it's like aligning the wood, the structure of your boat, with what it is going into, so that they are together, right? They are the same energy, so that they work together, not against each other. But then also you need to, of course, you need to have it dry to a certain extent. And when you are molding it, you are, again, this is part of the initiation and the journey of the young person, right? That is becoming this independent person. You are molding it. So the person that is making it, part of them goes into it. Yes, we had a particular shape that we did. However, it was not set in stone, if you like. It was how the person felt with the wood. So the fact that the person went to cut the tree down, they would have to choose it. Yes, they would be guided by the elders, but they had to choose that and had to feel some affinity with that tree. And so then when they are molding the shape of the canoe and putting it all together, the skeleton, there is this real energy of the person. It's very meditative, and it's like they become one with the wood, right? So the wood and the person, they're going on this molding journey together, right? And as that happens and the energies are sort of melding together, there is this very strong energy of togetherness, right? So they're going to go through their life together. This might seem now in this very modern Western world as something that's quite ridiculous. But for them, it was very important that that it was part of the learning. It was part of the initiation. You don't just quickly put something together and hope for the best. It was really in the body, in the whole, all the muscles, everything was going into this boat. And so that it was like they were becoming one. Once that aspect was done, then you cover it with skins. Now, you don't just get the skins like that. The same time that you are doing the tree, you are thinking about what the skins that you're going to put on. Because this is a boat and you are going into the water, what are you going to use for the outside, for the skin or for the shell of the boat? Of course, you're going to use something from the water. So, seal, any kind of animal that is obviously not fish, but that has skin in the water. Seal was a big one for us because they were very plentiful. So you would have to make your journey, again, part of the initiation, to go out. And you would you would not just kill, you would actually ask for the seal to give its life up, right? So you would be communing with the water, communing with what was in the water and all of the elements around you. And then you could make your kills. You bring them back. Of course, you eat the meat. Then there's the blubber, the fat. That's something that we'll come to. You dry the skin, right? So you have to prepare the skin, all of the fat, etc. So you have to dry the skin. But not so that it's hard, because again, it has to be, you can just put it in the water to make it malleable, but it has to be no, when we say no life left in it, what we mean is that the spirit of the animal, the death has gone from it, right? And it is its own thing now. So you can imagine that whilst it's on the animal, it's the spirit of the animal is in it, of course, but it's life. When you kill the animal, the skin is full of death. So you have to dry it and have it like out into the elements so that the death is gone. The spirit of the animal will always be there, right? But the death is gone. So it's like it has a new life, right? That's what it is. It's like it has life, it is killed, and then there is a period of time, and now there is new life. That's the way, the cycle. So you would be having them prepared while you are doing your skeleton of the boat. Now, the other thing that you would do, the blubber, that's what you would melt that down, and you would make like a paste. It would become like a paste. And you would put this on the wood. This acts like, of course, a waterproofer, right? But also nourishing. And again, it's something from the water, right? And you want the spirit, not just of the tree, not just of the person, but of the animal that is going to actually keep it waterproof, keep it afloat, if you like. You want that really in it. So you would use the blubber, what you call the fat, and you would work this in. So you don't just lay it on, right? Just like that. You have to work it in. So you, in the end, the wood it's like glistening, right? Because you are really working this fat in. So it's not now just got lots of energy from the person. It's really strong, right? It's strong for the water. And it has this affinity, not just because you've soaked the wood in the water, but now it has life from the water in the wood, right? So everything is working together. Then you would cover it with the skins. And you have to, of course, sew them together because one skin is not going to be enough. Again, here you would use the fat, but the other thing that you use to make sure that it is waterproof is what? You can't tell us, but we will tell you. Sap from the tree, not from the young tree, but from an older tree of the same. That's interesting, isn't it? So now you've got the wood that's got the water in it, has got the blubber, the fat of the animal, and the energy of the human to make that skeleton. Then you've got the animal skin who's given its life, and the human is thankful and grateful for that. And now it has new life because now it is going to be something else. And then you are bringing it all together, making the fat and the sap. So then it's like very strong glue on the seams, on the inside and on the outside, the seam where you are sewing, right? And that makes it it still is malleable because of the fat. If it's just sap, it becomes brittle, right? But the fat makes it malleable enough, but very strong. So what do you have here? Then you have this creation, right? You put it in the water. And so you are basically taking the nature of the land through the human being back into the water where the skin comes from, where it belongs. So you are taking it all home, right? It's all going home. That's really the shamanic tradition, right? And that whole initiation process is really an enormous part for us of the shamanic tradition because you are using what is around you, what nature gives you. But you are not just taking indiscriminately. You are taking for purpose. You are thankful. You are grateful. You are putting yourself into it. In that whole process, the person is being molded, right? Because now they can make the boat. They know how to use the wood. They know the secrets of the fat and the sap. They know how to kill an animal to survive. They know what you get from the animal. Of course, they learned this all the way, but now they're doing it themselves as an independent person. And here at the end, they have their boat that allows them greater independence, and they can go off into the world and trade and come back with new and more wondrous things. So that is the canoe story. Blessings to you, our friends. We are the Ancestral Medicine Women, healing from the past for the present and the future.